Here we go. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy BruceN here. Back with episode 2 of the Ncast. Today we're joined by one guest, and only one guest. If you could introduce yourself for everybody.
Hey, what's up? My name is I Can Have Bucket. I'm a famous Minecraft Let's Player here on the platform.
Of course.
Been rocking it since 2013. Acquired a total of 1 subscriber. It's been a long, arduous journey, but I've been rocking it ever since. No, what's up? My name's Josh, known on Twitter as Not Really Kai. I'm an artist, animator, and musician.
Ooh.
And I do actually thoroughly love playing Minecraft. Not gonna lie.
Well, we are very pleased to have you on the... don't... Alright, well, you can see what kind of episode this is going to be. This is my friend Bucket, Josh, Kyunn, also known at one point as Tome Guy.
Cartoon Gizmo for
Cartoon Gizmo. But we've been friends for I want to say like 7 years, 8 years, almost a decade.
Well, I mean, you know, is it really like friendship? You know what I mean? Like the first few years were pretty rough. Let's not lie about that.
Yeah, we honestly, I hated his guts.
Yeah.
Up until like 2013, maybe.
No, 14. Don't be modest.
I'm pretty sure it was 13. You started growing on me pretty fast.
No. We have a very infamous video of you saying, "Bucket, you 13-year-old, stop." And I was 13 in 2013, so it's 2014. I remember. I'll never forget.
I'll never forget.
You think I'll forget that? Think about it once every day.
Once a day, I remember that
Jay,
time.
like, sometimes I think about it. I'm like, yeah, that was fun. That was cool.
But we have Bucket here. We call him Bucket, even though he goes by Kyunn, or Not Really Kai now. Ever since he started pursuing his music career, which has proved to be a very positive influence on him as a person. If you want to speak a little bit about the last album you dropped, I guess, and the more recent project you're working on, if you really want to talk about it, if you're able to disclose.
This would actually be a good time to actually talk about it publicly, because I haven't.
Links will be in the description.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for giving me that plug. Let's see if I can pull up some files and sort of read from what I've got right now. My name's Kai. So the thing is, last year, April 8th, I dropped an EP called Oak Street Plaza. It was sort of a culmination of like a year and a half process of learning. And my entire life, I've always been influenced by music, but I've never had the courage or the kick to actually go out and pursue it as a career. Although I've always wanted to, nothing ever clicked. So through process of spending time with really important friends, incredible people, and getting that influence from amazing people around me, everyone said, hey, get up and do it. And I was like, you know what, I think now's the time. So I started learning more about music theory and DAWs like FL and Ableton. I started practicing a lot, and after I got pretty acquainted with most of those things, I decided to release something, which was Oak Street Plaza. You can check it out on iTunes, Spotify,
it's on iTunes?
SoundCloud.
I didn't even know it was on iTunes. Ooh.
Yeah, man.
God
yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty good. And I feel weird about it because that was a year ago. Within a year, I've learned so much. I've spent so much time learning about music and understanding it, and I've got new gear, and I'm just more capable. So if you're interested in understanding maybe a taste of what this next project's going to be like, just a little bit, you can go listen to that anywhere on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. That's where you'll find me. I'm sure Bruce will have the links. If not, I'll remind him.
No, I'm just gonna like have you say all of your shit, and then
individually. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
please. I will individually go to links.
All right, fuck this kid. Let's not put any of his like links or whatever in the description. I'm just gonna put my links.
Yeah, please.
My SoundCloud, where I don't post music.
Your iTunes link.
My iTunes link. My Spotify.
My Pandora link. Yeah. So I'm working on this project right now that's been in the works for roughly 5-6 months, maybe longer than that. There's some trials and tribulations that happened last year that made the process very arduous. But I'm working on this project. It's a whole album instead of an EP.
Ooh, so like, how many songs are we looking at? Like 12?
We're looking at 9 to 10.
Ooh, that's more than Oak Street Plaza.
That's a lot more. And we're sort of barging on it being somewhere around the length of 35-40 minutes. So, and Oak Street Plaza is barely 10 minutes, so you're not getting much content there. It's just a small little taste teaser when I was working on when I was younger. But yeah, I mean, this album, I'm not. You know what? I'll say the name of the album. It's called Eclectic Heart. Eclectic meaning variety. Stems from a lot of cultures. Growing up, I had a lot of influence from a vast majority of different artists. You had Stevie Wonder, David Bowie, Genesis, the Beatles, Aerosmith, Pink Floyd, and many, many more. So this is sort of the culmination of just a bunch of things. It's sort of my excuse to be able to make an album that's full of more than just one kind of genre, because you'll usually have people like Mac DeMarco who releases mainly just dream pop and dream guitar stuff like that. And not to say his stuff is bad, like his stuff's amazing. Same thing goes for Rex Orange County. But their songs, their genres stay pretty tightly knit. So this is sort of an excuse for me to be able to explore things like folk. You're getting a lot of dream guitar. You're getting some prog rock. You're getting some rap. So there's a lot of stuff here that I'm exploring that I've loved. You're getting a lot of jazz. Jazz is my favorite genre, so you're getting a lot of that. So it's called Eclectic Heart, and I guess I should tell the release date.
When is the release date?
It comes out April 8th.
Ooh, that's my birthday.
Is that actually your birthday?
No, it's fucking not.
Oh my god, I would say, oh my god, Bruce.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I was about to have a heart attack. There's a birthday gift for you, Bruce.
What the fuck, man?
So yeah, it's 9 to 10 tracks. The reason I'm saying that is because there's one track. So last year I was working on the project, and what happened was I built my new PC and had a new hard drive, had a bunch of new stuff in it. Well, long story short is the heatsink on my CPU was not properly put on. I think one of the copper rods was broken as well.
That's my favorite.
So basically what was happening to the computer was I was basically cooking it alive. I was running it at about 98 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 210 degrees Fahrenheit. So I was basically boiling my computer.
Like,
that's 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's roughly boiling point for most liquids.
I was going to say, like, if I were to touch it, would it burn my hand?
Oh, yeah, you get, like, first, second degree burns.
Like, if like when a kid touches a stove and they're just like, ah, that's hot.
Like that.
And then you go back to do it again because you're a fucking kid and you don't know better.
I have a few stories like that. I remember I ate a marble one time and then said I'd never do it again. And 5 minutes later, I immediately ate another marble.
You just popped another marble in your mouth?
Dude, it was a metal marble, and I was watching my dad play Marvel vs. Capcom. It was right after Hurricane Katrina, and I was like 5. I used to love marbles. And for some fucking reason, I took a metal marble. I was like, you know what? I'll just put this in my mouth. I won't eat it. I was like, no. I was like, I won't swallow it. I'll just put it in my mouth. Like 2 minutes go by and I swallow it like a fucking idiot. And like I'm sitting there and I can't breathe because I'm 5 and I swallowed a metal marble, so it's not going down properly. Like I can't scream because my windpipe is being covered by a metal marble. So my dad's just playing his video game and I'm like, well, this is the moment I die. But like it went down eventually and I was like, oh, sweet, I'll never do that ever again. And then like immediately did it again and freaked out again. And like after that I put the marbles up and never touched them. I was terrified.
Now, with that being said, do you think you could probably swallow another marble? Like 2018 February, I don't want to date when this is being recorded, but February 2018, do you think you could swallow a marble and like not have a panic attack about whether or not it'll go down?
You know, so there's like a little antique mom and pop shop next to where I live called CJ's. Very nice place. They have random shit everywhere. There's literally a bowl just dedicated to marbles. They have no security cameras. I promise you, I'm going there tomorrow and I will swallow a marble just for you, just to see what happens. happens.
All right, make sure you
Just-
put it on Twitter because that's you
Yeah.
know where I live.
Yeah, just to, because I'm a bigger man now.
My windpipe's probably a whole lot bigger, so it'll just
So
go.
my marbles are not as big as they used to. I mean, in size comparison to who I am now. So I'd imagine it's not that bad, but that's sort of scary because what if like it's even worse now because I'm older and I'm more conscientious? Like I'll just swallow it. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. My fear is that those marbles were made of metal and your body can't really digest that. So I feel like they're still sitting in my stomach somewhere, just
You
chilling.
probably pooped them out at some point or another.
I don't know, but yeah, that happened when I was a kid. Was I talking about the album? Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about how you just don't want to confine yourself to one genre, which is that could go for everybody and anything. And you were talking about Mac DeMarco, which I actually have a funny Mac DeMarco story.
Oh man, okay.
I'll save that for after though.
But it's very jazz inspired. People recently who've inspired me, Frank Ocean, absolutely amazing. Like Blonde is one of the most incredible albums ever, in my opinion. I go back to it. I constantly go back to it.
Kanye West says hi.
Huh. Huh. What?
Huh. Well, interesting rebuttal there.
What?
All of Kanye West's discography is just great.
Oh man, you are lagging out.
Am I? Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
No. Editor. Kanye West.
Kanye. Oh. I have like a love-hate relationship with Kanye West music. There are like musically and culturally some tracks that will stay forever like gems, and I'll appreciate them for what they are. Songs like Jesus Walk, it's genuinely an incredible track. And the fact that he was able to basically pave way for hip hop in the way that he did is like you can't beat it. It's incredible.
Pretty much.
There are some tracks here that I'm not a fan of. That goes for all artists. But yeah, like him as an artist, his discography is huge. There's so much to select, man. So yeah, Kanye West, but like he hasn't been my influence recently. But like influence recently for me musically has been Frank Ocean, Rex Orange County, Yellow Days, Mac DeMarco, Mac Ayers. All people you should check out and listen to. They're all incredible. Yeah, so like a lot of jazz, a lot of very soulful. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Tyler the Creator's Flower Boy. It's
that's probably like one of my favorite albums from last year.
It was so good. God, it's so good.
As, like, as a huge Tyler fan and like what he's done.
Brockhampton recently has been incredible.
Oh, dude, I fucking love Brock. That's what.
God, they're absolutely amazing. So yeah, like I'm trying my best to surround myself with a lot of incredible artists, a lot of variety. So I hope that sort of shines through. I'm not afraid to be able to wear my influences on my shoulder and let people know who influences me and sort of show that, because I think a lot of artists who are good do that as well, and you can clearly see it, but they meld it in a way that makes it their own. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
It's definitely going to be a lot fuller than Oak Street. Oak Street, in my opinion, was very... Though it was a good first project for someone young like me, I think it was very hollow, and there wasn't enough meat on the bone. But I really, 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 really hope that this is like the step up. You know, like we were eating deli sliced thin hams. Now we're eating like actual ham right now.
Yeah, we just got one big ass fucking ham on the table.
We got one big old ham on the table. Like we had that fucking deli packet that you open. It has like the Ziploc. And it has like little thin strips. Yeah, we were eating that before, but now we're evolving. We're moving up.
Now you have to slice the ham yourself.
Now you got to tear that up yourself. So yeah, I'm excited. It's called Eclectic Heart. Comes out April 8th.
Man, I'm excited for you. I'm gonna put that as a notification on my phone. I'm gonna be like, April 7th. My phone's gonna go ding ding. Wake the fuck up. It's time.
That's right.
I'm gonna go to SoundCloud and I'm gonna listen to your music, and then I'm gonna write a 10-page
SoundCloud,
report.
Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes. It should be there. So,
all right, well, that is Kyunn with Eclectic Heart, April 8th, iTunes, Spotify, anything to share music on, you name it. Besides DatPiff.
you got your Tidal, you got your MySpace.
Can you actually put shit on Tidal, like as an artist?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Oh, well,
I could do that and Pandora and a few other things.
I would actually
Google.
like to see it on Pandora. It was wild seeing you on Spotify, actually.
Yeah, I even have the little check verification.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Fancy.
man, I'm official. Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I had that
actually,
Mac DeMarco story too. Fuck, I forgot about
oh yeah,
that.
yeah, go for it, go for it.
So this is like, I guess, like shifting topics into something else now.
Yeah.
This lady friend I was seeing at the time, well, not
Mm.
friend anymore, this lady friend at
Oh,
the
gotcha.
time I
Okay.
was seeing, uh she mentioned that she listened to Mac DeMarco, and
Hmm.
me, you know, I'm open to all types of music. I love music.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'll check him out, listen to a few of his songs, and I realized, like, this is later down the road when I had like a giant epiphany at the end of the year on like why I did things. I was like, I only listened to that last Mac DeMarco album just so I could sleep with her. And
Wow.
to this day, I feel kind of bad for it, but I feel bad for Mac DeMarco for like not like focusing my attention on the album at hand. Because it's
Yeah.
like, you know, when you listen to music, like a new album comes out, it's like, oh, you know, I listen to the album all. That's what I personally do. I listen to only that album all day,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like it's only that album all day. And then I add it to my phone, and you know, I put it on shuffle, and I just go through the tracks again and again, you know, until like I figure out like, oh, this is a really good album or something like that. That's what I do with all of my albums.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. 2017 Steven was or not Steve, Bruce, whatever the fuck Steven, okay? It's been how many years have I been doing this for, and I still fucking can't
God,
remember
like
my name?
I'd never hear you refer to yourself as your name ever.
That's
That's
weird.
weird. I actually didn't know
Um
who you're talking about for a second. I was like, who the fuck is
who the fuck is
Steven?
Steven?
Who's this guy? Oh, got you. It's Bruce.
But we'll use Bruce for this since this is going on BruceN.
Right, right.
2017 Bruce was kind of an asshole.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I wasn't happy
You
with
weren't-
myself. And then
You weren't
this year
mean to me,
started, and I
man.
was
You were,
like,
you were.
ugh. Wait, what were you saying?
I mean, you weren't mean to me, man. We had a pretty good
Oh, yeah, we
year
were
together.
butt buddies.
That's right. We were
We
some
did
fucking
everything together.
Yeah, we went camping together.
That's true. We went to Texas together.
We went to tech ass together. Yeah.
Texas was miserable.
It,
Oh, man.
yeah. I was trying to sympathize for a moment, but like Texas weather is just miserable during the summer. It is hot, humid, muddy. It is just gross.
It was
The sun will
disgusting.
beat you down. But you know what? It really was the time I spent with you guys that genuinely made it like a great trip. Like I'll never forget it. The boys, I'll never
The
forget.
boys.
The fucking boys were clean. Like, oh, so much fun. God, yeah. I think
The
about that trip a lot. It's so
boys.
much fun. So you basically listened to a Mac DeMarco album just to get some hot sliz.
Yes.
So
I did
have
not
you,
finish
have
that
you
night.
have you g-
I don't know.
That was
I don't know if
not
I've ever told
how-
anybody like that my internet friends this story, but it was just like
So like basically you were like, yeah, I love Mac DeMarco, and then
no, I
you,
never
like,
said I love Mac DeMarco.
Oh, you're like, okay, wait, were you like, I like him, or were you
I
just
was
like,
like,
I'll
oh,
listen to him?
this isn't too bad. You know,
Yeah,
like I would
yeah.
listen to this.
And then she was like, I want you to fuck me.
Yeah, pretty much. She said it exactly in that voice.
I
I
want
was
you
just
to fuck
like,
me.
oh,
You
give
got
it to me.
And you didn't even finish.
I didn't even finish. I was very upset afterwards. I read.
Wow.
It's funny because okay, so we're getting it on, right? I'm not gonna give like time, like any amount of like time to like
Yeah.
you know gauge people with, but it was just like
Mhm.
we were going at it. Time passes. My mom like I hear the door like unlocked to the apartment, and I like spaz the fuck out, and I'm just like, ah, shit.
Fuck. Oh no.
So like I'm trying to get dressed, and she just barges in my room. The girl's still
You've
naked.
thrown the girl
The-
halfway
no.
across the room.
I'm half naked. The girl is still fully naked,
Oh,
and we just like we run out of the house after that. We go get food, and then like I walk her to the train station, and I just go to my friend's house for the rest of the night. I'm like,
God,
I don't
Bruce.
even want to look my mom in the face right now.
Oh God.
It was just I was just like, oh my fucking what of all the times that I have a girl come over, why is it the one time my mom wants to come home like really early? Then
When you're getting some hot poon,
some hot poon.
some poon nanny,
Some poo
and
poo nanny.
you're like, yeah, I got this shit. Mac DeMarco.
Mac listening to Mac DeMarco, yeah.
Yeah, and then you hear like a. I mean,
No,
that's the
pretty
best
much
way.
it was like a click. So it was
Oh,
like for the like the big lock, it was just like, and I was just like, ah,
I'm
fuck.
like, oh.
I was like, ah.
I mean, I've been in situations similar to that. Like, I've never been in that specific situation, but I've been in situations where like you have to like slow mo video game style grab the article of clothes to cover yourself with. Yeah, it's not very fun. It's not a
It's
great.
not. The
It's
movies
not a
make it
great
seem
look.
like so much cool. It's just like, yeah, and it's just like, oh, it's actually really embarrassing.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's not fun.
It's not the best.
So have you considered listening to Mac DeMarco since?
No.
May I make a suggestion? You should listen to Mac DeMarco.
No.
Why? He's so good.
I'll listen to it at some point. It was honestly like one of those things like I was listening to new music and shit at the time anyway, because like I think I was just getting into Brockhampton. Because I had listened to Saturation 2 came out. It had just came out. And then I downloaded Saturation 1, and then I was excited for 3. And I was like, holy cow, these albums are great. I need more.
Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Holy shit.
That was wet.
That was like a 10. That was really good.
Ew. That's disgusting. All right, Bucket. So outside of music, what do you like to do? Where do you see yourself in the next, I guess, few months, considering how the year is still like young?
That's actually a good question. So besides music, I had my first day of work today.
Oh, you work. Where do you work?
I work for the Diamond S Builders. I am
is that?
I'm a carpenter.
Oh, you look like a carpenter.
That's a little racist, but all right.
Yeah.
Fucked up. It's a little fucked
Okay, I'm gonna need you to check your privilege, friend.
No, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because not many everybody I tell is like, you don't look the type to go to a construction site and build shit. But I think it's the best of both worlds for me. I'm being able to look at something objectively and then creatively. I'm literally making a house.
Oh, cool.
So I do trim work. So like I install doors. I do all like the really fine details of the house, right? So today was my first day. So I'm still incredibly new to all of it. I actually barely have done any construction work in my entire life. I've learned very very little. But the team I'm working with right now are incredibly kind people. They're very very understanding, and they've been super super helpful. My first day, like I'm exhausted. Like after this, I am.
How tired are
dude.
you?
Oh, I could probably pass out right now if I wanted to. Honestly, like I am beat. I worked super hard today. But the people I'm working with right now are incredibly kind. It's not many people, but I'll change his name. We'll say Bailey. This guy I'm working with, Bailey, he's 25, 26. He's your typical redneck. He actually talks like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. Like, no joke. He's like super fast, like over there, man. Like super, like I have no fucking clue what he's saying most of the time, but he uses hand gestures a lot, and he's like very like visual when he's teaching, so
Yeah.
I can learn. But he's a good guy. Like I know I am gonna be fine working with him. But I learned how to hang doors and install them. I learned which doorknobs go to which rooms and why. I learned how to install doorknobs. I learned how to fix door frames that are too wide or too short. I actually used a nail gun for the first time ever. I learned specific nails. There's like 2.5 inches, 2 inches, brad nails, and staple nails. And I used a lot of brad nails today. To people who are like experienced carpenters, the work that I just described is very little. Like that's very basic things that they've learned. But this was my first day, and I learned it in 6 hours, and I'm getting really good at it. It's very arduous and tedious work, but it's sort of like art in a sense. I'm literally building something and crafting something. So it's the best of both worlds for me because I'd rather be doing a job like this than sitting at an office desk for 12 odd hours a day answering phone calls or filing papers or this or that. I would absolutely hate that.
I feel you on that.
I could not stand because right now in my life, the way it works is I'm at this computer most of my time. Like I'm working on this album, I'm playing video games with friends, I'm listening to music, watching videos. Spend a lot of time here at this desk, so it's good to be able to get away from that and physically get up and actually move my body and work.
Now, is this something you would want to see yourself doing like for the rest of your life type shit, or is it just like is it temporary for now? I want to say like I guess like if like okay, so if you had a choice between doing this, like the carpentry work, or music for the rest of your life, what would you pick? And
Oh,
why?
like if I was paid, let's say I was in a situation, and I mean this genuinely, if I was in a situation where I was financially stable and I was making music, and that's my finance, like I was a really well polished artist and I was making money through my music,
Yeah.
and making enough to actually live off that comfortably, I would quit that job. Not because I don't enjoy it, it's out of the fact that right now I'm in a position where I'm an up and coming artist. Like I mean, I know I have Spotify and iTunes, but I'm still very small, and I'm working towards that. And I think I can get into that later about how I feel about it right now. But uh, this is a good trade for me. At least I've always admired carpentry and woodworking and things like that because it's cool to be able to take all of these parts and get your tools and literally make anything out of these scrap. The guy I'm working with, my uncle was the person who actually introduced me to the job. He's a very great guy. I've been working with him a lot recently on carpentry and learning and stuff like that. He's been doing this for maybe somewhat 14 years of his life. So a lot of his life's been dedicated to a lot of this, and he's a master at it. Like a lot of the things that are built in my house are from him, and they're very beautiful and intricately done just from scrap of wood and his time and patience and his ideas. So the concept of being able to take something and turn it into another thing through physicality is incredible. Like taking scraps of wood and turning them into cabinets or shelves or staircase or whatever your means may be, is just nice. It's just satisfying to me. I think it's really cool. I think it's awesome the fact that people are able to do that. So my goal at least is to learn the trade, get at least good in the trade, and hopefully someday I'll be well adjusted enough in my music and be able to live off that. Now, that's very far fetched because music industry is very saturated right now and it's difficult. But my belief is that some people go to college for 4, 8, 12, 16 years of their lives to become the thing they want to become. Why
Right.
can't I take that time to become the musician I want to become? We're all moving towards our career one way or another. My career is I hopefully want to be a musician and that be my job someday. Some people go to college for 8 years to become a psychiatrist or whatever they may be, and that takes years of their life to become that. They
Yeah, and
have to
even
learn
then,
how
it's
to do
like
it.
once you're out of college, like right now, I'm in college
Hmm.
for graphic design,
Right.
and I can say for a fact right now, when I graduate, what is it next year in 2019, I'm not gonna have a job as soon as I come out
Right.
because, like you said, the market's very oversaturated for pretty
Right.
much everything. But even then, I feel like I'm kind of glad that I'm not gonna have a job like immediately, but it's like because like even then there's still like room for me to grow and shit as a person
Yeah.
and like focus on the craft and all of that, but I still feel like I'd rather not go to college for all this time just to like not learn something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I can't say much because I'm not in college and I don't have plans to go to college, at least not in the near future.
Yeah, no, I respect that because there have been times where it's just like I don't want to be in college right now. Not even because like
Yeah.
shit's happened, like shit with people. It's just like this is a waste of my time. You know,
Yeah.
like that was the
Sometimes,
attitude I
like,
have.
sometimes there's a lot of just mundane, asinine shit that you're gonna get thrown.
Yeah,
So, my entire life, I know I've always wanted to be in a creative field. I've always wanted to be either like an artist or animator or musician, and I still love those trades and those crafts. I'm glad I was able to learn about them at least at a younger age. I learned more about animation as a kid, and I learned more about art as a kid, and I still love those crafts, and I'm still proud of the fact that I know about them. But life sort of changed for me at a certain time. It was right after my house had flooded 2 years ago, and sort of switched towards music being my main love. I mean, it's sort of that in itself has changed for me, what music means to me, why it's so important, why it's so special. And that's a whole nother conversation. But, um, I really do genuinely hope that someday I will be able to wake up in the morning and just make music and that be my job. And it's not easy, but I know people who've come from nothing who are basically just living off of the money they make from their music now. My friend Violet, he's financially exploding recently because of the fact that he's been doing this for such a long time, and it shows that he's been doing hard work. His music is out of this world. Like, there's no words I can give it. It's he's one of the most amazingly talented people I've ever met in my entire life. The fact that he can go from genre to genre to genre and just kick its ass and call it and just do it right,
yeah,
R&B, jazz, almost any all fucking forms of EDM, folk, rock. He's got it all. But it's taken time. He's been doing this for a long time, but now he's working with really important people and he's getting paid a lot, and he has a really big crowdfunding. Um, and though it's not perfect and sometimes it's hard, I would love to at least be there sometime soon, maybe in the next 2 years or some year, maybe at the end of this year, I could get close.
you could
Just,
definitely
you just,
do it.
just
You like
keep working.
you just gotta, yeah, like you said, you just gotta keep working and put your time into it because it's like I remember myself, Jordan, and Blue were talking about this last time in terms of YouTube, but I guess it really just goes for anything. If you want something, you have to go. I just dropped a fucking coin. If you want something, you have to go and grab it and just run with it. If you want it that bad, like it should be no problem for you. Like
Right.
I shouldn't like feel bad or feel some type of way about like making a YouTube video, like sitting down and producing a song, mixing and mastering a song, like writing a book, for example. I shouldn't like feel some type of way about like doing any of those tasks if I want to achieve any of the dreams that I have.
Right.
So it's just like it goes for anything, honestly. It's like if you want it, grind for it.
Right. There's a saying that someone said to me recently that I've been sort of taking into account and I've been thinking about a lot, and I can't believe I just forgot it, but I'm gonna try my best to recall it properly. Just give me a moment because I'm like, if I can.
No.
Fortune favors the bold, and that resonates with me a lot because sometimes in life you really really have to do it. Like and I know that sounds cheesy or it's corny. I know it's a joke.
Nah, dude, I'm all for it. Just doing it, like,
Just do it,
just do it.
and like you can be scared or terrified of what might not happen or what might be the negative of that, but you'll never truly know what is going to happen unless you jump for it. Sometimes people risk everything they've got for success. Post Malone, when White Iverson came out, spent all of his money to make the music video happen,
Yeah,
and look at where he is now. And that sometimes doesn't happen for everybody, but it's the fact that he knew what he wanted, he had an idea, he'd been working at it for a long time, and gave it his all. He gave everything he had to that project, and he's where he is now.
yeah.
Um,
Honestly, like some of you, like our favorite artists, like whoever's watching this, some of your favorite artists have struggled. Like
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Khalid or whatever, he borrowed like $600 from like his mom or some shit to make like one of his music videos that helped him blow up.
yeah,
Like Travis Scott, he had like it was some weird shit with him. Like he He was bumming it for a while. Or no, that was SZA. SZA.
Yeah, Caesar. Yeah.
SZA. She was bumming it with her friends, like living house to house with them and shit like that. Like she was just bouncing between people's like couches and shit like that. But like, she made it. She signed to TDE. She's making bank. She
Right.
just dropped an album.
Yeah,
She's
she's kicking
collaborated
ass.
with like some of my favorite artists at this point.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to think about when it comes to like struggle for artists is when Crank That came out by Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah.
He literally made it on a demo copy of FL Studio, which means that he couldn't have saved the project file. So he had to keep his computer open
Yeah.
for like 7 odd months working on that song and then exported it, and there's no save file left of that song ever.
That's wild. You know, I actually recreated that beat my freshman year with my roommate.
Oh man.
Because we were going to get into producing music. Like, we both downloaded FL Studio, like, what was it, 12 at the time? And we were just
Yeah.
in our room. We called it the lab. And
Oh man.
it was hilarious. Like, that's the thing. Like, I kind of I like the grind, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
There's
fun.
something kind of satisfactory about knowing that you're putting yourself out there and working really hard for something, even if everything isn't perfect, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like I started making music with like a really shitty PC. All of Oak Street Plaza was produced on this really crappy $400 Dell stock computer that came out in like 2009, and it was a crap computer. It really was not a good computer, but I wore it to its death. Like I worked as much as I could with it, with what I had. The song in Oak Street Plaza, Cherry Blossom, I literally had to render it and listen to it individually because trying to listen to it in FL Studio, Ableton by itself, like everything together, would slow my computer down and freeze the track.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's just, you have to push past those blocks in the road, and you just got to make it work with what you have. A lot of people have this really weird sort of idea in their head that, I used to have it when I was young, but I started getting over it pretty quickly around like the age of 15 and 16. The thought that I need two things. I need great equipment and the right time, right place. You need neither of those things. One, you don't need great equipment. There have been people who produced amazing EPs and albums with only their iPhones. Recently, there was a guy who did a jazz sort of R&B style album with only his iPhone and a guitar
That
and
is
his
true.
voice. And his name escapes me right now. I feel bad about that, but it's the fact that he had nothing. He had absolutely nothing to his name, and worked with the shit that he had, and he actually made something that I consider to be genuinely good, that I've listened to before and gone, damn, this is really good work. So no, you don't need amazing equipment. I have a small little MIDI keyboard. I have a $20 amp for my guitar. I have a cheap starter guitar. I have I have a Yeti microphone. Now I have upgraded over time. This isn't like I got this in one night because I'm
naturally.
rich. Yeah, this is through gradual progression of I started off with the first microphone I ever owned was a Rock Band mic. It was awful.
That.
It was disgustingly bad.
Mine was a Radio Shack one.
Oh man. Then I upgraded to a Blue Snowball, which is about a $70 mic, and I upgraded to the Yeti, which is about $120.
Oh, dude, same. Yeah.
Yeah, the Yeti's great.
Yeti's great. That's what this podcast is recorded on. Sponsored by Blue Yeti.
Sponsored. I actually one day hope to get sponsored by Totino's. So that's my goal. That's my goal in life.
I want to get sponsored by Gushers.
Can we get sponsored by Balls energy drink?
Oh, please.
God, please. Those free balls.
We got to get ISO on the show at one point.
We got to get ISO to sponsor us.
We got to get ISO on the show.
So, yeah, so the thought that you need the best equipment is bullshit. A good example for YouTube commentary, people who are genuinely good, Penguins, Critical. When he started out, he had a awful computer. He could barely run anything on his computer. Everything was either a really old video game or it ran maybe 20 frames. But his commentary is what sold his channel. It's the fact that he was so genuinely funny. It made up for the lack of visual stun,
Yeah.
You have A1, I think it's grade A under A.
He doesn't make videos anymore, though.
I know he doesn't, but when he did,
Oh yeah.
His appeal was the fact that his style was so crude. His commentary, his personality is what sold the channels. The fact that he was so out there and abrasive and loudmouthed and just really raunchy and had really crude drawings. You know, he didn't have amazing technology. He just used what he had, and that garnered him some success. So no, you don't need amazing equipment. You just need to be good at what you're doing and practice it a shit ton. Just practice and practice and practice.
You just need the drive,
You
man.
need that. You really do need the drive to do it, because there's some people who get it easily, and I'm not gonna lie, there's people who get it overnight because of the fact that they did something super simple, and that happens. That's life. But it's better for you as a person to be able to have the drive and just do it, not because you want to get famous, but because of the fact that you love doing what you're doing. I am not going to get famous because I'm a carpenter. I am a carpenter because I genuinely enjoy it and it's a good job.
Right.
I make music not because I want to get famous. I make music because I genuinely love music and it means the world to me. And making music in that process is amazing to me, and it fills me with such joy to know that at the end of the night I worked on something I enjoy. And there's no such thing as right time, right place. That is bullshit. The only time that every moment is the best time. Just release it. There is no like, oh, it needs to be here because of statistics. No. Just it's bullshit. Hear me out. If you wait and hold yourself off, you're just wasting time that you could be releasing music to the world or creative energy to the world or something you're doing to the world when you're doing it now and then working on more stuff and releasing it. Some people do get those moments where, like I said, chance, fate. Sometimes people get famous overnight for simple things, small things. It happens. It's the climate and the community and the commentary we have now as people is so fast. We're getting information every millisecond now. So anything's possible technically. Just do it. Just get up if you're interested in making music or doing art or making a podcast like Bruce is doing right now, or working on merch. By the way, Plug It Fully is amazing. I cannot wait to buy every piece of Fully merchandise. I am super excited because it's genuinely like good clothing and the designs are genuinely cool, and I'm really excited. Like I'm beyond proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Just do it. Just like Bruce is out there working, making shit happen. You can be too.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, is just making stuff happen, is loving what you do, playing Minecraft all the time.
I want to talk about, I guess, like fame as a whole.
Yeah.
Considering, like, I feel like we've both, me and like my friend group now, like all of us have been just like working really hard to get like where we are right now. Like, what was it? My friend Jordan, like, what was it? Last month, he was at like 700 or something subscribers, or like 800. Now he's like, he literally caught up to me in that month's time, where I like have just been sitting there watching from the sidelines because it's like life happened for me. But
yeah,
I'm like, I was talking to, like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, why don't I work harder on videos and like and shit like that? Like, why don't I just set aside time for that? Because it's like, I could tell people to like go out and make videos. Like, I tell my friends that all the time, but it's like, I won't take my own advice. And I was just like, am I afraid of fame? And I was like,
that's interesting, actually. Yeah,
I was just like, am I afraid of being famous? Because it's like, I see all of these other famous people and I feel like they're not genuine with themselves. And they're afraid to be genuine, like, in like these days and ages. You know, it's just like nothing is like genuine. Again, for like the third time I'm saying that, because it's like I'm closing on 1,000 subscribers. We're at like nine something right now, 920 something. I think like 921 exactly. And I've been doing this for a few years now, on and off, naturally, of course, because life just keeps getting at me during this process. But
yeah,
it's weird because it's like there are times where it's like, oh, I want to make a video, but it's like, nah, I think I'll put it off or some shit like that. I don't know. That's just me. I personally think I'm afraid of fame, and that's probably like my number 2 fear of all time, next to sharks.
Wow.
Oh, dude, sharks are fucking terrifying. All right, sharks.
I mean, they're kind of scary.
Sharks are pretty fucking scary.
It's just the fact that that's so high up there with fame. Do you feel like you will use that as a negative way if you become famous. Like you take that energy and be like, oh, I can do what I want now. You know,
No, like I feel like if Fully ever took off, which I'm planning on it to actually take off sometime this year. Like I'm going to be on my shit for Fully.
Good.
If you don't know what Fully is, it's a clothing brand that I started last year on my birthday, and
it's been a year now. Wow, it's been close to a year.
Not even actually. Like I've had the idea circulating for a while. Like throughout the summer, I was just like, huh, wouldn't it be cool if I made clothes and stuff? Yeah. I just like I quickly dismissed it or whatever. Like whatever, I'll just fucking go play some video games instead. And it was just like when I saw like the first sale, I was like, I could actually like make a living off of this.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was just like I was just focused on that, and that's all I wanted to do. And it's gotten to the point where it's just like where people like my mom's friends would always ask me whenever I'm back home from the holidays. They're like, "Oh, hey, Bruce, what do you want to do like after college, like with your graphic design degree?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'll go into advertising," but like in the back of my mind, it's like I don't want to sit at a computer designing shit for like other companies and shit. Like I'd rather do my own thing, have fun, make money that way, you know? Like that's the way I see it. Because it's like at the same time it's like I'm going to school for graphic design, but at the same time like I'm kind of glad I went to school because with that I was able to meet all of these people that have like helped sort of inspire Fully in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been like this huge ass like journey that's been like a long time coming, and I'm so glad that's like I did it. Like I just decided to, you know, dive into the deep end, as they say. And I just went with it. Now granted, there have been like the times where it's just like, oh, nothing's selling, you know, but it's like that's expected, you know. Success doesn't happen overnight unless like you're incredibly lucky.
Right.
But it's like even then, you know, I don't expect it to like take off soon, but it's like if I want it to, I have to work for it soon.
That's right. That's completely right. And that sort of ties back into the whole concept of timing and place.
Yeah.
My thing with fame is I've been around people and I'm really close friends with people who are considered like quote unquote.
Same. I was gonna ask. I was just like, you know, people. We both know people. But
I have a friend named Zelinki who's just come up on 100,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
And that's a huge deal for him. He's an incredible guy. He's actually on the album, so that's crazy. He's an incredibly talented guy, and his animations are super funny. If you have not seen who Zelinki is, please check him out. He is out of this world. We actually became friends in a really weird way, but I'll get into that another time. So when we hang out and talk, it's never about subscribers. I don't think we've ever sat down and talked. He's never done it in a way that's like, oh yeah, I just got these subscribers, you know, I'm so cool. I've brought up to the fact, I've actually talked to him like, hey, how do you feel about that? And he's like, well, it's just like, it's nice because now I'm allowed to financially be stable and do something I love, which is cool. But even if I didn't have those subscribers, I would still just be doing animations. Like I didn't change as a person because I have more people watching my stuff. If anything, it's been a positive because now I know that I can actually do this and eat. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. But I think fame for me specifically has always been kind of weird because I can never truly process it. I've cried a lot over when I get messages from people saying like, you know, thank you for the music you've made. You know, it genuinely brightened my day, or, you know, I've had a hard time recently and it's been nice to listen to good music. Keep doing your. I mean,
it's weird to think that like people like us, like, have fans and shit.
It's really weird. I still can't fathom it. I don't like. I sort of think it's sort of like I'm on an episode of Pranked with Ashton Kutcher. All the time.
It's just like it's unreal that like people are just like, oh man, you just uploaded a new song on SoundCloud, or like Bruce just uploaded a video, and it's just like it's wild to see that, and it's like even then like you can't dictate like the stuff you make like around like the people that like listen and watch your stuff, because it's like then it's not you anymore. It's pretty much like them, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
That's
just
something
like
scary. They have to, yeah, you have to kind of make sure you're, at least for me, like, it's cool. If I ever do get, let's say I wake up tomorrow and I have, let's say, 30,000 followers
a
on SoundCloud.
million SoundCloud
I have
followers.
a million SoundCloud followers. I'm up there with X and everybody else. I wouldn't make music for them. Like, I mean, I'd make music. I mean, clearly they've come to my SoundCloud because of the music I make for myself. Because I don't make music for anybody else, but for me, I'm making music so I can tell a story and I can just express how I felt about certain events in my life or certain moments through
Right.
music. It's a good outlet for me, so I can be like, oh, okay, this happened in my life. I kind of want to write a song about it, or this is how this makes me feel, so I'll write a song about it. You know. And that's sort of what Eclectic Heart is. It's just a big amalgamation of basically the album. Like, if I can jump back onto that really quick, it's very nostalgic. It has a lot to do with growing up and dealing with internal struggles I've had growing up. A lot of things I've never vocalized to people because I've been terrified of vocalizing certain things to people.
No, same
You
dude.
know,
I'm
that
the exact
longing,
same.
just like the longing to go back and like play with Lego blocks or play Minecraft, and the fact that I can't really do that as much as I'd like to, and things are different now, and things are very complicated, very convoluted, and it's kind of scary, but it's very nostalgic, has a lot to do with that. Um, but I've made this album for me, so that I can look back on that and go, yeah, I made that, and I'm happy I've made it. I love this music. Actually, Lido, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him or listened to him. He is an incredibly amazing artist. He did a lecture out of college recently in which he said, if you don't bump to your own tracks, then you're doing it wrong. If you
Yeah.
can't jam the fuck out to your own track or feel an emotion after you've made a song, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, it's just
He
like
like
it's like that with everything. It's just like, oh, if you can't watch the video you made, like why would you upload it? Like,
right,
why would anybody else want to upload it? That's why it's like the same premise with like Fully. It's like if I wouldn't like walk out with this shirt on,
yeah.
like why
Why
would
would I
I
make
even
it?
bother like uploading the design? Now, granted, I feel like my fashion sense has like changed over the years, so it's like
Yeah,
I think I look good in literally anything, but
yeah,
it's just
right.
like this. It still stands. It's just like if I wouldn't wear this, why would somebody else want to?
Right. You want to feel comfortable and confident in your own wear. Um, that's actually kind of interesting that you pointed on that. And the older I get, the less and less I care about what I'm wearing. Mainly because as long as I feel comfortable in what I'm wearing, then I feel fine, and
Hell
that's
yeah,
that's
dude!
great.
Gotta be
Um,
confident.
you got to feel comfortable and confident in what you're wearing. Um, and I'm working on a job site in which I'm wearing very loose, baggy clothing. Not baggy, but loose, airy clothing so I can breathe. Um, and I'm not used to it because I usually wear like very form-fitting clothing. At least this as much as I can. Um, so it's different for me, but that's sort of like a job situation. So that's not really, you know. But
Yeah.
fashion for me is if you can rock it, if you have that confidence, then you probably look good in it. You know, I've seen some fucking crazy outfits and people who have that confidence, that boldness in what they're wearing. I'm like, damn, you were rocking that shit right now.
Yeah, man. That's how it
Um,
is.
yeah. So fame, for me, is I mean, it's cool. I'm not against it. I'm not really scared of it. It's just if it happens, it happens, and I'll be able to pay for my own dinner, which sounds awesome. I'm totally down for that. To be able to buy better equipment, and that sounds cool. But if that doesn't happen, that's completely fine. I have a job that's well paying, and I'm actually interested in the job, so that's really good. But I surely am. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that someday I'll wake up and things will change for me, and I'll be able to financially keep things stable with music. No, I don't expect it to happen overnight, but I will put in the work to make sure that at least something will happen. So,
Yeah, I feel you on
gotta
that.
put in-
All right, well, it's been about an hour,
yeah,
and I must say that our time has come to a close.
damn.
Unfortunately, for episode 2 of the Endcast, we've had Kyunn for this episode. If you just want to say goodbye real fast.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you, Bruce, for having me on. It was sort of last second, but I'm totally into it.
Very short
Um,
notice, I know. Very
you
short notice.
guys can find me on Twitter at NotReallyKai. That's where I
fuck
post
your Twitter.
Okay, sorry.
No, fuck it.
That's where you guys can find me. I shit post a lot and I talk a lot about good music. Actually, like every day I post a good track. So if you want to find really good music, I
I'm gonna
post a
start
lot of good
doing that.
music.
I'm gonna post a track that I like every day for the month of March.
There's some really, really great songs that I found recently that are just amazing. You can find me with SoundCloud. All my stuff's linked on my Twitter. So just go find my Twitter at NotReallyKai. I will be publicly talking about the album further sometime soon, and a lot more information will come out about that. So there you go, man. Thank you for having me.
And that has been Kai. All right, so that does it for episode 2 of the Endcast. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you showed on the first episode. It means the world to me. This was honestly just like a project that like I said before, I never thought would go anywhere, but thanks to friends and support and honestly just believing in myself at this point and other people believing in me, I was able to make this dream into reality. So that was Kyunn, also known as Bucket or Kai, and we talked about life, fame, fashion, and stuff like that. If you guys are excited for the Endcast and you want to see more videos like this, all you gotta do is just hit that like button down below, leave a comment talking about anything. I'll be in the comment section to discuss. My name is BruceN, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
First I grab my nerf and then my clip and then I drop. Tell me how I make some money, yeah. Need a stack of love. I hope I didn't drink too much last night. I don't remember last. I'm sorry if I took your girl to candy shop. I wanted top left move, cop yourself some shoes. Sorry that I'm winning, and I'm sorry that I had to see you lose, but I've been stacking up the blues. Yeah, I got the